Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. And you're probably wondering why Ralph and myself wearing hats and sunglasses. Well, this was the Godfather's idea, and he's not even here yet. It looks like a setup, Ralph.
Yeah, that witness protection plan, I think, is kicked in.
Anyway, the post-game reaction. God dearie me, man. North London derby. Whew. Do you know, we've got so much to get into, but I'm just thinking it's like it's evening over here. Wearing hats, sunglasses. What's going on? See you on the other side of this music intro. Yeah. Welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans, literally all over this world. So if you're wondering why we're wearing hats and sunglasses, this was the original Godfather's idea, and he's not even here yet. He's not here yet.
The Godfather's probably done a couple of jobs, man. He's probably on his way in.
Or maybe he's still in the witness protection scheme. Anyway, guys.
No, we're like the Blue Brothers.
Yeah.
We've got a great team. We've got a tank of gas, and we're wearing shades. Let's go.
Yeah. Hit it. Anyway, guys, make sure you subscribe to Cannon Fodder TV and hit the bell notification button so you can receive all the latest news right here and right now on this channel. Yes, so Arsenal overcame. Overcame? Is that the right word? Overcame?
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah?
Yeah. We dominated. We dominated, but then we keep letting them coming back into it.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on.
That's all right. Keep going, Ralph. Keep going.
Yeah, we dominated. We should have had the game really out of sight again in the first half. We should have had it out of sight in the first half. Odegaard scored, but then we hit the crossbar. We've hit the post a couple of times. Lacazette, it always rattles my nerves when you see opportunities like that come, and then they scored. There's only their first attack. As soon as Bell, I knew they were going to score. I just knew it, I knew it, Alex. Sorry, but I knew it. Hey, it's disappeared again.
Hang on. Wow.
Tell you forgot it, you tell.
I forgot the hat, man. I forgot the Godfather hat.
I think I might have to get a Godfather hat. Or I've got the baseball cap and the floppy hat.
Yeah, it's not.
No, I know when they came over, because for some reason we allowed them to come at us, and they took the one chance and they scored, and I was fuming. But again, Odegaard came to the rescue, man. He pulled that goal out, and it was right on the balance of play because we dominated that first half.
Yeah. Eltel, your summation, please.
Well, first of all, I think when we're back watching Arsenal live and we're at the stadium, I think we should do a line in these hats, and it should say Cannon Fodder TV on the front. We should do a hat and dark glasses with clean up. No, it was fantastic. It was everything we expected it to be. Maureen played a defensive line and was hoping to catch us on it. There's Maureen there squeezing his ear. Yeah, I mean, we all read it, didn't we? We said we're going to have them try and catch us on the counter attack, and unfortunately, that's exactly what happened. I thought Lamela, I mean, it was a great goal, and he was a thorn in our side until he eventually saw red. But you know what? I was thinking, what a shame that we don't have a terrier guy like that in midfield who
Exactly.
kind of annoys opponents. Now, people say Bissouma is similar to. Well, yeah, if he is, get him in. Now, listen, guys. What I want to say is the most important thing is it was difficult to pick a man of the match because there were so many, and that's what great teams have. They have so many players on form, playing well, busting a gut. I mean, the one that stood out to me was Martin Odegaard. He really surprised me. Up to now, I've been on the fence with him, but he's found his place. He operated in that lovely midfield role. He did all the things we used to see Liam Brady do. I thought Tierney was also fantastic, and Emile Smith-Rowe has gained a yard or two in pace. And when you think they played him on the left side of the attack, and he's really a number 10, you've got some great players. Cedric, at the end, Arteta was talking to Cedric, and they were both smiling. And I said to myself, I bet he said to him, "You were brilliant," because unfortunately, Pepe wasn't. They brought on Pepe because of Saka's injury, and Pepe never once went outside the fullback. All he wanted to do was come inside. And well, you know that. I mean, Robben used to be famous at coming inside, but he could also go outside. If you go outside the fullback once or twice in a game, from then on, you put him in two minds.
But Telch, wouldn't that have been an instruction from Arteta? Because we can see it. Arteta must have instructed him to do that. No?
Well, interesting you should say that. You know, he's called the king of the nutmegs, isn't he?
Yeah.
Because I think he has real difficulty going on the outside, and so when he can't go inside people, he tends to nutmeg them, which is fantastic. But all the best stuff he did at his previous club, he was in that what they call the half space between the winger and the centre forward, and he's inside the box where people can't touch him, and so he nutmegs and he dribbles and he does all this wonderful stuff. I would get him on that training pitch and I would say, right, your left leg is for standing on, and I want to see you go past people on the outside again and again. Get him at it 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I know it'd be end of the season by then, but he's got to get that. He's got to get that in his tool bag, you know. Otherwise, everybody's worked him out. I mean, a good example, Oba in the cup final, when he scored that beautiful goal, the defender, Chelsea defender, thought he was going to go onto his favoured foot, and he didn't. He pulled inside and then chipped the goalie. So if you're going to be a top player, your weaker foot must be decent. Doesn't have to be wonderful. Do you know what? I thought Cedric played well. When you think he had a dumb cluck out in front of him in Pepe, who was doing nothing, and he had to patrol that whole right-hand side. Cedric, to me, he should be in the team on Thursday, definitely.
Yeah. So let me take it back a bit and actually talk about the starting 11. So the 11 kind of raised an eyebrow, and I received some messages on the Canon 4 TV WhatsApp group. So it was Leno in goal. It was a back four with Tierney, Gabriel, David Luiz, and Cedric Suarez. In front of them had the two Emerson Rowe on the left and Thomas Partey on the right. And the front three of Granit Xhaka on the left, Martin Odegaard at number 10, Bukayo Saka, and Lacazette. There was no Aubameyang. No Aubameyang, Ralph.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. I only just heard that it was something to do with him being late for the bus.
I heard
correct.
That. Yeah.
So unless that kind of like influenced Arteta, but at the end of the day, I mean, like you said earlier, you know, Arteta will say, "Well, Ralph, at the end of the day, you know, we've won this match." So I can't argue. Argue with that.
Yeah.
But again, another thing that we talked about being captain, he's got to show. You know, he's got to show leadership skills, and he's got to be a role model. And if discipline is lacking, then that's what a manager should do. You shouldn't be afraid to say, "Well, you know what? Actually, I set the standard for everyone. You're not exempt from it. There you go. So
Yeah.
maybe that might fire up Aubameyang for Thursday.
Yeah. I was pleasantly surprised actually to see that he had dropped Auber for. I mean, what we heard was a disciplinary situation. It didn't go into greater depth or details about that. But yeah, so they scored the first goal. Lamela, who I thought, like you said, we lack somebody who's a little bit nasty in the midfield.
Yep.
Lamela always like the nicks and like the stamp on the foot, all the things you probably see in the 70s and 80s. We like that kind of player, a little bit nasty, but he scored a really good goal. It was a good goal, and the first shot, Del.
Well, especially when you think we'd hit the post and the bar with two rocket shots, one from Emile Smith-Rowe and one from Cedric, both of which deserved a goal in a North London derby. And then they go up and have. I mean, it wasn't a fluke goal. He does that Rabona thing from time to time. And it was just those things happen once in a blue moon, like we had Giroud with his scorpion kick. Again, he did mean that, So these things happen. But the good news was we were making chance after chance after chance. And if I'd have been Arteta at halftime, I'd have said, boys, if you keep going, you're not going to keep hitting the woodwork. The shots are going to go in. And in the end, I thought we ran out of steam a bit. And obviously, we tried very hard to hold, because football's a low-scoring game. If you go 2-1 up in a North London derby, you bring on El Neni and a few characters like that and hold it. And that's exactly what we did in the end. Harry Kane hit the post. And Gabriello, I thought, had a very, very good match. Very impressive. He did a phenomenal header because the ball came back to him and somehow he reacted and guided it away from the Spurs. That's a real great defender's header. Yeah.
Ralph, your thoughts about Martin Odegaard scoring the equaliser?
This youngster is impressive match per match, and he's doing everything that Tel says on the tin. He's getting in that middle midfield role, and what really impressed me is that when he has the ball, like we mentioned earlier this morning, he's got that 360 kind of like vision. He knows what's around him, and he plays with that kind of confidence. And when he lays it off quick, we're quick compared to anybody else who tends to pull the play backwards. That's what frustrated me, the fact that when we're so far forward, and because we couldn't penetrate, we start going backwards. And then when you go backwards, you lose momentum, and you give the opposition more incentive to attack. So Odegaard seems to like nullify that. When he gets it, he's spread it out. He knows who's with him, and he gets it back. He's just got two good feet. Two good feet. And the amount of times I've seen him, like he does a little pullback, and he goes around the player. I love that. I love that.
Tel, you said actually in the kind of 14 WhatsApp group that you were fearful whether we've overplayed Saka.
Yeah, I mean, my stream went down at one point, so all I got was that he was withdrawn at half time, I think it was, and the big worry is it's a hamstring strain. Well, if it's hamstring, then that's overplaying. And funny enough, before the game, I did read that for the first time in a long time, we had every player fit in the first team squad, and suddenly, I mean, we could all see it the last few weeks or the last week or two. He's lacked that zip, that bit of pace, and we've just overplayed him. I do worry about Tierney too. I mean, this guy. How fit can you be? He rips up and down that line. He's a phenomenal defender. He's a great midfielder. He's a wonderful attacker. And when it's training and it's sub-zero, he goes out in shorts and top. That's it.
But Tel, should he be doing that? Because if it's training, he should be making sure that he's keeping his body warm. Because if he's not stretching properly, he's probably more prone to pulling muscles and strain. So he should really, as much as we'd love to see him on a training ground like short sleeves, the Tesco bag, but I think he should actually be wrapped up when they're training.
Well, he's the sort of fella, because he's from Scotland, he's obviously got it in his genes that he doesn't feel the cold, and he'd start sweating in a butcher's shop fridge. you know.
Ralph, who was your man of the match?
Oh, jeez. I'll put Odegaard in purely because he's settled in and he's passing as well. But Tierney, like Eltel says, Tierney was ripping up the left side and he was getting the crosses in as well. Cedric on the right side also. There was one shot he did. If he could have aimed it lower, then I think it might have been a goal. But it was straight at Lloris' hands, and I thought, But I don't know. I'm between the two. I want to give it to Odegaard purely because everything seemed to click with him.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Lacazette did put himself about a lot as well and scoring the penalty. So there's a few. But for me,
Yeah.
I think the fact that, oh my God, even Emma Smith Rowe, he played really. There's quite a few of them.
Yeah, I got to say, it might surprise you, but I've chosen David Luiz for the blocks, clearing the ball, and he was like, "I'll get out of free cards," always like hoofing the ball rather than trying to play it amongst the defenders. One thing I don't like about the defenders, Eltel, is that we want 3 touches, we want 4 touches. Get rid of the ball quicker, pass it amongst yourselves, quick passing. But it's like, no, I want a 3rd touch just to see if I'm okay. No, I want another 4th touch. Get rid of the ball quick. And I actually saw Leno as well, rather than trying to play it up from the back, he hoofed the ball. So you can, just because you can play the ball up from the back doesn't mean you have to always play the ball up from the back. But I thought the guys, they got the job done. North London Derby, 2-1.
I must say, there's been trouble, like you and I, like all of us suspected, in the Arsenal goalkeeping team, in their trainers, and from what I hear, Inaki Kana's going at the end of the season, and I know that he was the guy, from what I understand anyway, he was the guy that wanted Leno over Martinez, and I'm afraid, I mean, Leno is a decent goalkeeper, no doubt about that, but he can be beaten in the corners. And that's the one thing I liked about Martinez. He was quick with his feet. He went across his line, and every time I saw him play, any ball played into the corner at pace, he still managed to get. Now, apparently, Inaki Kana's going, and at the behest of Leno, he went to Arteta and said, "Look, this guy is no good. I don't rate him. I prefer." They've got another guy. Is it Woodman? He calls himself. His son plays for Newcastle, and he's on loan. I think at Portsmouth, and they obviously. Bert Leno doesn't rate Inaki Kana, and this business of hoofing the ball. Listen, every time he hoofed it today, thank God, it was pretty good. He gave it a lot of air, and probably 6 out of 10 times it went to an Arsenal man anyway. So it's not. And also, if you, a bit like Pepe, if you do something that the opposition isn't expecting a few times, then their closing down changes. So they didn't close him down after that because they knew he could hoof it. So all these things, get your right-sided players to be able to use their left foot and vice versa. Get your goalie. He's good. He's got a good long punt on him. And he punted it a few times. And I was really pleased, because this business of tippy-tappy around the area, it's too easy. I mean, by the way, a quick thing. I thought our closing down of the Tottenham goalkeeper and defenders was superb. I was about this word trigger, and what they do, nothing to do with a horse. What they do is, when a certain player like a Tottenham fullback, an opposition fullback gets it, it triggers one of the Arsenal wide players, and you could actually see it happening. The sort of midfield was standing off it and allowing Odegaard and Lacazette to press, but the moment it went wide, you could immediately see it was the trigger. The word is, now you press that guy, and it's not Lacaz's job, it's not the forward's job, it's one of the wide midfielders. So this is I think we saw today, for the first time, Mourinho was tactically outthought, and the players the player's first touch was generally very, very good. And I think anybody who's had worries about Arteta, I think he turned the corner today. I think the win on Thursday helped. It boosted team spirit, boosted Gabriel. But I think we've turned the corner now. Michael Owen said after the match that Tottenham were very lucky to only lose 2-1. And the scoreline was flattering for Spurs. It could have been 4-5-1 easily.
Yeah. Ralph, your thoughts on Granit Xhaka today?
He was there. He did hold up, and he played well. I still kind of like get kind of a bit frustrated when we're in a strong position, and then when he gets the ball, it's like a panic station, and then he comes backwards. Yeah. And then I must admit, although you say David Luiz may be your man of the match, there were a couple of times when, if you notice in the first half, he was pointing a lot. All the back four were literally pointing. I'm thinking, like, you've got the ball, you should know what you're going to do with it next.
Yeah.
All this pointing, it's like you're giving directions, but you're also telling the opposition that you don't know what you're doing as well. Mm-hmm. So Tottenham came onto us and pressed us. I found that they pressed us a bit more than we did. When the ball was at their end, we kind of like gave them a bit more freedom. It's only when they came into our half that we started to closing them down. But Xhaka, he was okay. He was okay. But to me, I must admit, I was looking at the defense, and I was more looking at Odegaard and Saka. When Saka had the ball, and Emma Smith-Rowe, they know each other. They know how to go, who's going to go forward, who's going to pull back. So that was really good. I think I'm trying to remember the name of the Tottenham guy. That word. He flicked out a couple of times at Saka on the wing. And I think towards the end of that half, the reason why Saka was got subbed off was because there was a clash. He got taken out. So hopefully the injury won't be too severe. But like you said, if we're going to keep on playing Saka all the time, then that's what's going to come of it. He's going to start picking up these little nickels, and it may put him out when we need him the most.
Tell again in the kind of put your WhatsApp group, you noted that there was 2 fouls, Lamela and Harry Kane on Gabriel. Could the FA not look at that and make a retrospective action against Harry Kane for that tackle on Gabriel?
Because he's England captain, is he still England captain? They obviously won't do anything. But the first one on Gabriel won the ball and he body checked him.
Yeah.
Him. That has to be a card. No doubt about that. The ball had gone and he body checked him. And then we had the other guy, Lamela, go for him as well. So do you know what? At the end of the day, our boys were very good. None of them did and apart Xhaka tends to do a bit of a retaliation sometimes, but by and large, the players kept their heads, didn't retaliate and so on. But as we said earlier, we could do with a bit of a hard man in the middle there, just so that if they do roughhouse stuff, fine, we'll unleash our Rottweiler. If you want to start doing roughhouse, we've got a big one here, and let's go for this Bissouma if he can put it around a bit. I mean, he's 6 foot, he's fast, he's right-footed, which they won't necessarily want because they've got this big idea that if you're going to replace Xhaka, it's got to be a left-sided player. But I don't necessarily think that. But that's one of the key. Hopefully, Arteta sees that as a key signing. Get somebody in there who's a bit. Not exactly. I don't want somebody who fouls all the time and that's their whole game. But I want somebody who, if it starts to get like a roughhouse game, you want somebody who will physically stand up to them. The way Vieira did. A lot of teams used to say when Vieira lined up as Arsenal captain in the tunnel, 6'4", all meat and muscle, and a guy that could put it about if they tried it on him. Immediately, the team is thinking, we aren't going to be able to push these guys around. And that Harry Kane body check was abysmal. And I'm surprised. I thought the ref had a pretty good game, actually, but I'm surprised he didn't even warn him for that. And then, as you say, Lamela was continually fouling, which is why he eventually ended up with the red card. But I don't want somebody to go around fouling. I just want somebody to stand up to these guys. A big guy. The way we had Tony Adams there and we had Martin Keown, they'd stand up to people. Patrick Vieira. Let's get some guys in there who won't be pushed around. Yeah?
Just go on, Ralph.
To pick that point, Alex and I was talking about it this morning. I said what the team does need. They need like an enforcer, someone who protects the flair players. And as you quite rightly says, he ain't going to keep on fouling for the sake of it. But when he knows that the ref is not doing anything, then he enforces the right act. He says, right, okay, you want some of this? Then we can give you some of that. And then that will just either do one or two things. They'll back off or they get the card and they get sent off.
Yeah. Well said, actually. Guys, we're just tuning in now. See the numbers just kind of bubbling under 30 live viewers at any one time. The Blues Brothers. Yeah, we've got the hats and the sunglasses. We are in a witness protection scheme. Don't tell anyone.
We know where the body's buried.
Yeah, we know. Actually, we buried a few bodies today, so
it wasn't me. Right, let's go into the live chat for the first time this evening. This post-game reaction. I've got Connie Young says a North London derby win. Fired up, Alex. We're fired up.
Yay.
Going to Thursday's game, the second leg. Yeah, bit of momentum there. Little bit of momentum. I do caution or call on all Gunners. There was never a better illustration of this than today. Our left-hand side of the attack was brilliant all game. Until what?
William.
Yeah. I didn't want to say that, Tell. You did. Because I do give
Don't say the words.
Yeah, don't just and because I do give this fella a hard time, David Luiz rolled the clock back. He was outstanding. Yeah, for me, he was my man of the match. Yeah, the blocks, just controlling and just clearing the ball rather than just trying to, like little ticky-tacky football. Just clear the ball. James Miller says, was glad to see Saka go off. He's not the same recently, and Partey was total crap. Oh, couldn't understand some of the passing decisions various players chose going backwards, Ralph. Has to be the last resort. And so many times, Ralph, like you said, we are advancing. There's space. There's players to be passing the ball to. And Xhaka, again, would prefer to pass the ball backwards. Then we've lost the momentum.
Yeah.
We've got to upgrade on Xhaka. We've got to upgrade on him, Ralph.
When you're in their third, when you're outside their box, and you would see it quite a few times, the defense started straightening up, and they had more. They crowded out the box. They crowded it out. All he needed was like 3 passes, and get your shot away. And we didn't do it. It's like we got to the box. Who's there? By that time you looked around, they already got their defensive lineup.
Yeah.
They're back in formation. But the things that we broke it down so many times today, when we advance, just go straight forward, go for it. Just put a shot away. And also you have to think about when you put your shot away, it also runs the clock down as well, and they have to start from their end. The whole time you lose the ball and they're in possession, you're out possession, and nobody's running backwards. They cut through us, and it's like you're chasing after the game. Then, so it was still frustrating for me. It was great. Don't get me wrong, great that we won, but when we're in those positions, you have to go for the jugular. You have to get your shot away.
Xhaka, Xhaka, go on, Tell.
My question is, how does Oba get back into this team now?
He
Laka
doesn't.
played brilliantly. He's a proper centre forward. He's a guy. He's muscular. It takes two defenders to keep an eye on him, and then he ran back just in front of our penalty area, made blocks, made tackles. He ran his socks off. I was delighted with him. So, and actually our forward line looked better with Emile Smith-Rowe in an unusual left-sided, left wing back type role. Tierney outside him. Laka, it looked good. And then, of course, on the other side, Cedric. So, unfortunately, you say something went wrong with Saka. But I would worry that Oba, I don't know if he's arrived late, but you know what? The way we're playing, even if he arrives at 8:30 every morning, I can't see him getting.
Des says, hi, Alexa. There was 3 men of man of the matches, Odegaard, Emerson Fro, and Laka. We had fire and passion. Come on, you Gunners. Partey was our only player that looked bad. It has to be battling health. But, 20 minutes in, I don't know about you guys, but I just don't get the impression that Thomas Partey is fit. He's not fit. And if he's not fully fit, why are we, risking him? He shouldn't be playing if he's not fit, Ralph.
Yeah, he was blowing. There was one shot I saw him. He was like he's taking a real deep breath, and I was thinking, mate, like it's still early. It's only 20 minutes in, and you seem to be blown. So what is it? If there's something that's underlined, or if he's straining, then like we said, Alex, we keep on having this point. Arteta, he puts the team out, but there should be his number 2 or number 3, saying look, keep an eye on Partey. He seems he's not moving well. The team seems to be just a bit ineffective after he's laid the ball for something. There's a lot of pressure on him. Have a look, and then that way, then Arteta would look at. He's happy with the tactics, but then he starts looking deeper into the players. But there's no one in his ear at this moment, I suppose. So hence the reason why we can spot it from a mile away.
One thing I don't get, why William came on over Martinelli at that point of the game. We needed a player on with pace and not a jogger. Tell.
Well, Martinelli wasn't even in the squad,
Yes.
So he would have sat home watching that on telly. Arteta said it was a tactical decision. So, I mean, listen, he's doing some strange things, but maybe he's putting people in their place. He's keeping Martinelli out. Maybe he isn't quite fit enough. He's obviously had some words with Oba. Maybe Oba, you and me know this, working in schools. Maybe Oba's got a little bit too cocky for himself, and he needs to be brought down a peg or two. And if he's then gone and added to it by going off to a tattoo parlor and possibly exposing the whole squad to COVID-19 again, and then he's not arriving in time, where it all begins to add up. And I would, if he was doing that to me, I would say, a lot of people say he shouldn't have said it to the press. Maybe Arteta's warned him several times. If you keep doing this, I'm gonna tell the press what's going on. And at the end of the day, if he's got his eye on somebody else and selling Oba, a bit like Klopp sold Coutinho, maybe he's thinking, I've got an asset here with 3 years left on his contract, and he's going to be worth a king's ransom. Maybe I'd push him. Either you do what I'm telling you, i.e. in brackets, play really well and score goals, but he won't be looking at it like that. He'll just be saying, you've got to toe the line. I don't want you late. I don't want you going off for tattoos. I don't want this stuff going on. And who knows what other stuff has gone on. I know he let the W man go off to Dubai, didn't he, to check on his coffee bar or something. Well, sometimes you have to, if you got a big player, they said that Emery couldn't stand up to big players, either at PSG or at Arsenal. So maybe in a funny sort of a way, Arteta is seizing his opportunity to stand up to our captain and our biggest player and say to him, look, I've warned you and I've warned you. Now I'm going to stick you on the bench, and I'm going to, if anybody asks me, I'm going to tell them it's an internal discipline thing. which in the past he's kind of covered for them. And that's hopefully some people are saying he isn't a good manager. Maybe he is. Maybe this is what Oba needs. Apparently, I didn't see the bit where the camera went on him and he was scowling. Well, good. Let's get him hungry. Let's get the fire up in his belly to try and prove Arteta wrong.
Does he play on Thursday, Phil?
I think he does. I've got to be honest. I think he does. But you know, the way our front line, unfortunately, maybe Saka won't, which is a shame. Because I thought Emile Smith-Rowe, Laka, and Saka and Shaka. I thought we certainly had a fantastic fluid, and that Martin Ødegaard it's just he's the oil that oils it all. He's got a wonderful first touch. You can't get the ball off him. And he's got, as Ralph was saying, he's got this fantastic vision. He knows exactly now that he's got into the team and has learnt where people are going to be, I think we are beginning to see the sort of best of him. And we're not going to get overconfident about this match on Thursday. Don't ever get overconfident because it can blow up in your face. But I like what I see. I like Luis, the way he's playing, and Gabriel is a good foil for him. They're two good centre-backs. We found our right back. I mean, even though he was a reserve at Southampton, whichever scout found him, well done, because he can cross the ball, he's speedy, he's fast. You know, he's a good player. Without being world-class, he's at the moment more useful to Arsenal than Bella in or Bella out.
Or better wrong. Santiago Roberto, buenas noches. Says, where are all the critics now? Yes. Power to the Gooners, says Ashley D. Why could we not play like this all season, Ralph?
It's one of the, you know, there's like 7 mysteries of the world. Well, Arsenal's the 8th when it comes to like whenever we want it, we don't get it. When we think we're gonna scrape through, we get a performance like that. So it's a mystery, mate. It's down to Arteta to start understanding, you know, making sure that he picks the right players. And for the players, when they cross that white line, to actually start putting that kind of performance in. And just going back on what El Tel said about Aubameyang, why not get? I tell you, will be a really good incentive, and something that really would stick in your craw, so to speak. Why not get Martinelli back up to fitness and put him into some of these matches? Because then he'll start running, and then that's good competition. Or better way than to the team. And show you know, that he's young, he's hungry, and he's ready, and he scores.
Well, there should always be competition. There should always be competition. You don't want players thinking they have a divine right to be on the team sheet. There should always be competitions, no matter whether you're the captain or how much level of wages you want. There should always be competition for all the places. And it's funny, actually. Ashley says, but what the heck? They go down to 10 men and we go to pieces. I've got to say, for the last 8 to 10 minutes, I felt like we lost control of the game. We were, giving it silly passes, just like the lack of concentration. And it just goes, again, it goes down to having a captain who can communicate and tell the guys, look, calm down, we're ahead. We've got 11 men, they've only got 10 men. But I think Ashley's right. Literally, we go down, we've got 11 men, they lose a player, and we lose control of the game, Tel.
Absolutely. I'd forgotten that they'd gone down a player for the last 10 minutes. I've forgotten it. Yeah, absolutely. We gave them the initiative. And unfortunately, because football's a low-scoring game, if you're 2-1 up in a North London derby, the temptation is to just block it. Put 5 or 6 across the back, bring all your players in. We brought on El Neni I thought the El Neni substitution was very good because he operates everywhere, doesn't he? I'm a bit worried about, we're talking about Partey. Partey's very easily passed. He has a turning circle of a fairly big oil tanker, as far as I can see, which is a bit worrying. And hopefully it's just fitness. He's got that lovely shimmy where he protects the ball and goes inside instead of outside. And on the ball is wonderful. But I do worry that unless a player is close to him, and he tackles well, but if the player's a yard or two to one side of him, they just skip past him. So that's maybe it's a fitness thing. But I've no idea why suddenly we notice it, unless, of course, people do say that the EPL is the fastest league going and you need phenomenal levels of fitness. But if Emile Smith-Rowe has come on in leaps and bounds, so well done to our fitness team, apart from possibly Saka, although, as you say, it could have been a couple of fouls on him. But our fitness team seem to be doing a good job. And as I said earlier, I think we are going to see changes. We're going to see our goalkeeping coach go back to Brentford, or from whence he came, as they say, and maybe we can just send him back. And maybe we're going to see some more coaches come in, maybe a bit of a rotation of our backroom staff. I do think in a year's time, talking long distance, that I think we'll see Mertesacker as our assistant manager. But yeah, go down to 10 men and suddenly, well, listen, apart from a few corners, which are rather unfortunate, but we've got to actually let's a big shout out to our set piece guy, because we very rarely concede from corners now.
Yeah.
And but he's done a fantastic job. We very rarely concede from corners. But think of all the corners we had. Was it at the end of the first half? We had 5 corners to Spurs 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Conor Young. Alex has gone gangster. The Godfather's lieutenant. Thank you for that, Tel. Monty says, what go on, Alex, Ralph, and LTEL, and the Cannon 4 TV family. I think it's safe to say sign Ødegaard now. LOL. No! No, it's too soon. It's still, we've got 10 games to go. Let's wait until the end of the season. Ralph, surely.
Exactly. Let's wait till the end of the season. You know, things can turn, as we've seen in football. Let's take a breath. You know, let's enjoy it for now. But then, you know, come the morning, we have to start reassessing for Thursday. Arteta will take the best bits of this, and if Aubameyang's nose is out of joint, then it's for Aubameyang to put it right. You know, and the best way to put it right is to make sure he's got the right 11, and he puts the ball in the back of the net. Yeah. And if he doesn't put the ball in the back of the net, he gives it to somebody who can put the ball in the back of the net. You know, show your leadership and see, and get it done.
And apart from being a role model, being the example, you know, again, you know, we don't know the bigger detail about disciplinary in regards to Auba, but he's got to be the role model. He's got to be the example. Not a good example so far. Des says, LTL's criminal brothers.
I'll
no
send
criminal.
the boys back.
The Assemble says, hurrah, even Alex and Ralph and Elton, of course. I just hope that gives their confidence a boost, of course, come Thursday, and there's no doubt that it will. So I can run through this very, very quickly. Eltel is late for the meeting. Now we know where Auba has been learning.
I was on the phone to Auba. What are you doing, Alex? Just an idea. You know the backdrop you've got of the Arsenal Stadium? Can you get one of a nightclub and us 3 sitting at the back on a couch with like a bottle of champagne on ice with all the gear on, you know? And then me saying to you, go and sort that problem out over there.
Maureen parked the bus. Don't do it at the Emirates. You will pay the price. Yeah. We said, Ralph?
I said exactly. I must admit, there's shots of Maureen, and it's like he didn't know what to do at certain parts. He did look a bit lost. You know.
Yeah. Des says, I've been saying about Odegaard since day one to sign him. It's too soon, Des. Too soon. Too soon. Too soon. Alba was punished for missing the coach. Right, okay. Don Arsenal says, give Arteta 20 years contract. He's joking.
Okay.
20 years. That's a prison sentence. I think Saka was taken off at the right time. When Partey gets tired, we lose the midfield. Tell?
Well, absolutely. I'm afraid Partey something's going on. I don't know if he's got a new girlfriend or something, but he's turning up. He's turning up pretty whacked.
Tell. Go back to the live chat. Oh dear. Alex, where's your bald head? Under here, mate. Under here. About time Arteta did something managerial. That's a huge statement to crack down on the highest paid player and captain, Ralph.
Yeah. Again, it's all about role models. It's all about setting an example. And also, it shows that everybody, it doesn't matter if you're a high top salary earner or if you just come to the team, that's the standard. And if you go beyond that, then there's got to be repercussions. So if that's the case, if that's what's happened, then yeah, quite rightly, that's what a manager does.
Alex, do you think our penalty was right call? Don't think it was though. Tell, do you think it was a penalty? Personally, I thought it was a penalty.
Well, the first time I saw it, I thought definite penalty. And although he'd swung his leg at it, like had swung his leg and missed it, the guy did follow through. So he definitely fouled him. Now, the only question I had was the ball regarded as dead because he'd sliced it, and therefore the tackle didn't count? But I don't think football works like that. If you miss a ball or slice at it and somebody takes you out in any other part of the pitch, it's a foul. So as soon as I saw the playback, I was a bit disappointed the fact that he really didn't connect with it. But then I thought to myself, no, because he's just been taken out. So it was a penalty, but it was a bit worrying because it did look like one straight away, and the ref called it straight away. But you know what? If you take a man out in a penalty area, I mean, crying out loud, lads, we've been complaining about the ball to hand, or you're standing there and your hand's by your side and the ball hits it, or we had Luiz running along and the fella's backlift clips his knee. And in all those situations, so it's about time that when somebody takes our centre forward out, whether he's missed the ball or not, it's a penalty. Absolutely.
True Gooner says, I hate to say it, but I completely disagree with Eltel on Pepe's performance. He had one job when he came on, and that was to make the difference. That ball he played for Lacazette was magic. Tell.
Well, listen, it's good that we all have different opinions. I really do think if we're going to keep Pepe, he's got to get back to the form he had. I think it was Lille he played for before, where he was taking people on and he could go both sides. I think he's lost a bit of confidence. And sooner or later, every fullback works him out. You know, he isn't going to go outside you. And funnily enough, today we got the ball to him where he was one-on-one with the fullback, and I thought, oh, great, you know. And do you know what? The guy's so pacey. Once he's close to the Tottenham fullback, he should have just knocked it to one side of him, but not inside, and then run. I'm not talking about skill. I'm talking about pace. And when you think about the fullback is standing or virtually at standing pace, and he's running at full pace, a quick ball played outside the fullback, and he would whistle past the fullback's ear before the fullback had a chance to react. So I would be working with him on that. I mean, I've known over the years some wonderful two-footed players for Arsenal, and even somebody less obvious as a two-footed player might be Ian Wright. You know, Ian Wright was good with his left foot. My goodness, he used to say, if the ball comes to your left foot, you play it. and you just work hard on the training pitch and improve your weaker foot. So I think there's some work to be done there. But because if you think about it, he was running at full pelt, okay? So what's that, 20 mile an hour? And the fullback is virtually stationary. So once he pushes it outside him, he's gone. He's gone. The fullback's left standing. That's what I'd be telling him. I'm saying to him, once you gather up pace and speed, don't always go inside because they know where you're going.
So what he came on what time? He was subbed on what time? How many minutes ago? Can't remember.
Pepe.
Yeah.
He came on for the second half, didn't he?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I was fairly quiet up until that point. And like you said there, when he's one-on-one with the fullback, just pass the ball past the defender and run onto it. And that's the only time I was screaming at the computer. Pepe! You know, 3 or 4 times, one-on-one with the fullback. It should be so easy. Pass the ball past him and run onto it. Don't try and overcomplicate things. But yeah, I think my wife was a little bit annoyed. Pepe, come on!
Yeah, Alex. The thing is, the fullback was well away from the penalty area, so behind him was 20 yards of green grass.
Exactly.
All you got to do is knock it past him. You're already running at full pelt, and he either fouls you or you've shot past him. You know.
Yeah. So Colin says, I kind of like Pepe today, actually. All right, okay. Don says, I disagree with Eltel. Pepe did what he was told to do, decisive passes, and he did. But it's opinions, isn't it? Opinions. Yeah. No way Madrid will let us sign Ødegaard. It's too soon. Too soon. We've got 10 more games to go. Ødegaard is proven to be a gunner, a North London Derby goal, and he played like he had a genuine Tottenham dislike. My missus is pregnant. Can I get her pregnant again while she's still pregnant, Alex? I'm so happy. Why are you asking me that question for? Don't ask me that question. You're not like a gynecologist.
Have you got a secret job on the side there?
No. Not that I know of, anyway, Tel. You asking me that question for?
What kind of question to put on the channel?
What Arsenal? Are you serious? My missus is pregnant. Can I get her pregnant again while she's still pregnant, Alex? I'm so happy. It's not a question to ask on a podcast, man. God daring me. Oh, yeah. Ødegaard was brilliant. The kid is class act. Would do very well to sign him this summer. I'd pay 50 million straight away. Ralph, 50 million?
Let's negotiate. Let's negotiate. But let's just wait until it's all great. Time, brilliant. But then let's just we're on to the next match. Enjoy this evening. Watch the highlights. Normally we don't like watching the highlights, but watch the highlights. And then in the cold light of day, just prepare for Thursday. And we've still got 10 more matches.
Yeah. Colin says Cedric definitely improved better wrong. Better in, better wrong. Tierney and Emerson Rowe made Doherty look even more average. Wonderful play. Yeah. True Guna says, great to have 2 excellent RBs options. One for the exterior and one for the interior. I'm trying to wrap up this very quickly. Ødegaard, Tierney and Emerson Rowe, man of the match for me. The brothers and the Godfather. This could be the beginning of some kind of football betting ring. It wasn't my idea.
Yeah, offshore investments.
Alex,
Why
can
I
we
can't
have
see
a
anything?
TV series? Alex, can we have a spin-off TV series? I can see it coming on. The Godfather and the Brothers.
Thomas Partey was once again bad today. Yeah, to me, he didn't look fit. He didn't look fit. Kind of struggling to keep up with pace of the game. Didn't look fit. Didn't look fit to me. Shaka's sliding tackle. See. If you get a call tonight from Mrs. Kane asking where Harry is, can you please let them know that he's probably still in David Lewis's pockets? Thanks.
Let's not forget as well. Song went off in about 10 minutes, didn't he?
Say
He
again?
pulled up a Song from their players, and he pulled up. So I think that was on the right course. He was being marked out. He only had like maybe 2 runs, and the second run resulted in him being hamstringed off. So
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, quite funny towards the end, or maybe about midway through the match, when Spurs had a free kick on our goal, the line walled up, and then Cedric sort of lay down, which is the famous one in case the ball is done as a daisy cutter. And you could hear Leno go, "Get up, man! Stand up!
Arteta needs to do more about his game management. We actually let them come back into the game after a man down. That's a good point, actually. Really good point.
Yeah.
And it looks like a member of a Colombian. Shh, my wife. Raz looks scary.
That's okay. That's okay. When I used to play, I always wanted to look scary when I was in defence, and if that's what I'm giving, then that's good. Good thing.
Look at that! Look at that look over there! God, scary, man. And we have a new member on Cannon Fodder TV. Colin Young has become a member. So, Colin, thank you for that, and I hope you enjoy all the behind-the-scenes footage and everything on Cannon Fodder TV, as well as like discounts on merchandise. If you wanted to buy another piece of merchandise, I know you've brought the hat with the logo, but Colin, thank you for becoming the latest member on Cannon Fodder TV. Hey, hello, the Blues Brothers.
We're not blue, we're red. We're red and white. We're not blues, we're red and white.
Right, just see if I can run through this very, very quickly. There's just so many guys. Thank you for coming. I mean, the numbers of people in the comments and the live chat is just, yeah, there's just so many of you. Give me a second, one second. Right, Majid says we should have won this game by a few more goals. They'll tell. The final product should have been better.
Absolutely, Majid. I mean, we were so lucky to hit the post and the bar with rasping shots. So had either of those gone in, then it would have been 3-1. And if they'd both gone in, 4-1. So, as I say, the first half especially, we were absolutely dynamite. And, this bodes well for Thursday. So now that I think the players are beginning to believe in themselves. I think we've always believed in, well, I have, in Arteta. He knows what he's doing. He's been under the tutelage of some of the best managers. He's had Arsene Wenger, he's had Pep Guardiola, and he's been around the football game a long time. He played for Glasgow Rangers, Everton, and so on. So he's accumulated a lot of knowledge, and it was a tough ask, but for us to be his first club. But I think he's growing into the job. And I think he will be really pleased. Our approach work was so fluid. Even Pep said when you play Arsenal, their approach work is so complicated and so fluid. You have difficulty instructing defenders where to be because these guys are coming in and they know they've got forward passes, they've got left diagonal, right diagonal, sideways passes. And Erdegaard is the perfect example. He's fitted in and he's got vision. The way we've seen it with Emile Smith-Rowe, wonderful touch, but more important, that football brain. And when you think about it, we've got Saka with a great football brain and all the technique in the world. You know, we've got Emile Smith-Rowe. We've got some great players coming through, and I think the old hands are going to have to be very, very careful. Otherwise, all we'll do is turn over into a whole load of Stanley Kroenke dollars and then go and spend them as soon as possible.
Yeah. Gangster thing just took you over the line. All gangsters. Majid says also good on Arteta on benching Auba for disciplinary action. No player is bigger than a club, Ralph. No player.
That's right, and that's what we've always said. Conversations, whether it's online or among ourselves, you know, the only people that stay in the club is the fans. You know, these players can come and go. They can have, you know, earn as much money as they can or deserve, but you know, they have a shelf life. For us, this club is everything, and we're there from the beginning, and we're there right to the very end. So no one's bigger than the club.
Absolutely. Guys, you're just tuning out. I've got Eltel, the original Godfather. I've also got Raz, who's also the co-host of his own segment, The Voice of Reason. We're hoping in the future, the short future, we're going to have another segment from the original Godfather, but you have to wait and see for that. But if you don't subscribe to the channel, you're not going to get to see Eltel in action, in full effect, in full flow. So make sure, guys, you subscribe to Cannon Fodder TV. What we are going to do, we're going to try and make this for a little bit longer. We're going to take a little break. We're going to show you the promo video where we're talking about our online digital services, and it might give our panelists a moment just to get the old amber nectar or a drink of water. So we'll see you on this other side of this promo video where we're talking about our online digital services. We are here for you.
As part of the Cannon Fodder TV experience and services, we're now extending out into additional online products such as voiceovers, thumbnail artwork designs, and video editing for small YouTubers who have less than 1,000 subscribers. Voiceovers. If you need voiceovers for short videos, 30-second adverts, stories, intros and outros, then we can do this for you. Let us know the length of the voiceover and we will give you a polished audio file in less than no time. In addition to this, thumbnail artwork designs. As we pride ourselves on sharp HD thumbnail artwork designs, we can do this at a relatively low price. Send us your specifications and we'll produce eye-catching designs to attract subscribers and followers to your platform. And finally, video editing. We have a range of video editing techniques, special effects and software to produce a polished end product for which you can be completed in the quickest time possible. Now, if you would like help and support getting your channel promoted and your subscriber count going, then send us an email at arseworldpublic1@gmail.com. I repeat, arseworldpublic1@gmail.com. We are here for you, for the Cannon Fodder TV experience.
Yeah, we're here for you for the Cannon Fodder experience. So if you're thinking about you would like to start your YouTube channel and you're thinking, well, you know what, I don't know how to start it, we could be the people who could give you some guidance and help, but you'll have to pay. You got to pay the money. There's no free services over here on Cannon Fodder TV. And I'm hoping that Eltel, we might see a segment on this wonderful channel. Tel, you've got another YouTube channel, haven't you, Tel?
Well, yeah, I've got one called Terry's Tunes, which I think I've hardly put anything on, and then I've got one that I do for the school I work at, and then I've got one that I do for little kids with a puppet I've got called Crazy Crow, and just have a bit of fun with that. But I was recording some stuff last night, and I should have put it on Terry's Tunes or something, but I put it on the Crazy Crow channel. But yeah, maybe I should do some of those Blues Brothers songs now. And I see you've got a keyboard on your promo video. So if you want to be our keyboard player,
no. I'm sorry, I'm going to play to my strengths. I'll play the recorder.
Alex, I noticed that on the promo you've got Tierney's fridge, the one Tierney lives in. Behind you. You should label that Tierney's fridge.
That's a good one, Tel. Let's go into the live chat just for the last one before we really do finish this one up. Connie Young says quite a few candidates for the man of the match. Partey was the only bad performance, really. Other than that, Arteta always throws on the field. Magic says, I think it's time for to give Saka a good rest. Ralph?
Yeah. We said this all along. The last thing we want to do is to burn out our young players. But the games are coming thick and fast. Arteta said how he feels that he can't drop him. But the flip side is, if he picks up a niggle, then he's going to be out for maybe 2 or 3 matches. We've got 10 matches to go, not including, obviously, what could happen in the Europa. So you want to be careful. And if he needs a rest, then give the lad a rest.
There, I mentioned the W word, where in the match during the week, when a short corner was taken, the W man came across to the right and centered the ball for Gabriel's goal. And apparently that's where he played nearly all the time for Chelsea. So if Saka's not available, and if Pepe it blows hot and cold, give Willian a half out there. If he prefers the right-hand side, he's got a lot of assists. A lot of people forget that. The W is not as bad as we think. Okay, so let's by all means try him out there. This insistence when we brought him on, played him on that left wing, all he ever did was check back. So if he's going to do that, he's almost telling Arteta, I don't want to be over this side. I want to be on the other side. So give him a go over there.
Yeah. Mark Webber, welcome. It's been a while. You've been in the live chat. So Cedric, the sleeper block defend. Great performance. But but did not see Leno become leader on the defending era. No contact at all costs. Anyway, we'll go back to Mark. A great win today, so let's have some great thumbs up. Smack that like button, guys, and if you are new, hit the subscribe button. 22 gooners here watching, only 9 thumbs up to improve that number there. What are we saying that we need a midfielder who can put it about a bit when Granit Xhaka does exactly that every week, and all we do is abuse him for it? Ralph?
The thing with a midfielder is as hard working as he's got to be, and he's got to have a good engine. He can't be slow. He's the one, in a sense, set the tempo. And all too often, when the ball comes to him, and we've seen it. He gets it, and then the first thing he does, it takes about 2 seconds to have a look and see where he is. And then if it's safe space, he pulls it back. He's not forward enough. He doesn't play with the conviction of a confident midfielder. He may do the slide tackle, which may be a bit of a horror stuff at times, so he doesn't need to dive in. He may do the odd pass sideways, as he always have done. Those are his defaults. Anything beyond that is new territory, and he's been at the club 4 years, and he hasn't changed. He hasn't gathered any more skill set to his locker. What you see pretty much is what you get. But he's happy if the ball's given to him and he's got time to play it. Midfielders know that they don't have time. If you see your Odegaards, they know they don't have time, but they already compensate because they know where they are, they know who's close to them, and where they're going to be in order to let off a pass. It's all quick thinking. Xhaka has been there 4 years and he hasn't got the grasp of that yet. And I don't think he's ever going to get the grasp of it.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. He does have 1 or 2 good games, but then he had a mere game at Burnley. Then he was in a good game against Olympiacos. It's okay today. So then, if you're looking at trends, what's going to happen on Thursday? It's not consistent.
So, what are your thoughts about that? Literally, True Good saying, listen,
Yeah,
we see that we need like a bit of a terrier in the midfield. Shaka,
yeah.
is Shaka a terrier?
No, it's not. It's not. I mean, I always did say that if we didn't shoot ourselves in the foot, and I said this on our WhatsApp group, I can see Arsenal winning it by 2-1. Actually, I think I said, yeah. And Tim over there in East Clare said exactly the same, 2-1. So well done, Tim. If you're watching, you put the thought of 2-1 into my head. But at least we haven't done what we've continually done over the last 4, 5, 6, 7 matches and shoot ourselves in the foot. We haven't done anything stupid. We haven't. And Leno has learnt his lesson. He might be arguing with Inaki Kana about this, Kanya, but if he thinks it's too risky to play a short pass, just whack it long, you know. And I thought we looked much more secure at the back, and I think it's all very, very promising. Yes, there definitely is a worry about our two, if you like, pivots, Xhaka and Partey being a bit one-paced. In fact, Xhaka very rarely gets out of second gear, let alone find top gear. So, you know, there is a lack in his game. He's got a wonderful, sweet left foot. It reminds me of Emmanuel Petit, all of that stuff. Lovely, lovely player of the ball, but he can't defend, and he's got a lack of pace. So I'm sure Arteta knows all this, and he's weighing up that in balance he's probably worth his place until we get somebody better. And I think Arteta knows the kind of players he wants, but he's restricted by the sort of spending. Just a quick one, which Arsenal fans might be interested in terms of history. Somebody put up on, I think it was Facebook, a whole thing about Herbert Chapman. Now, we got Herbert Chapman in his first full season was 26-7, and he'd won the Premier League or the Football League in those days with Huddersfield Town for 3 years running. He came to Arsenal, and the first couple of seasons, I think Arsenal came something like 12th and 14th and 8th and that kind of stuff, you know, because Sir Henry Norris, who was running Arsenal at the time, refused to sort of give him money. Now, of course, he did turn it round, and he turned it round by 1930, and Arsenal won the cup that year, and then they went on a run of 3 championship winning years, 31, 32. And then the final year, unfortunately, Herbert Chapman caught pneumonia and died, but the team went on. So when you look at it, what Arteta's facing is nothing dissimilar from what Arsenal managers have suffered from in the past, a lack of funds. And I think he's doing a wonderful job. I think Edu's doing a wonderful job. Whether they bring in Mark Overmars or not, I don't know. But they're doing the best. And I think Arteta knows. He knows that some of these players are not suitable, but he's got very few options. So I do hope we make some really good buys and selling. I think he's going to be brave in this transfer market, and I wouldn't be surprised if he sells Oba. There you go.
Yeah. David Keefe says, "Happy days, Alex. We did it. Yes, we did." Eltel, when do you get back to Del Monte?
Del Monte. You know what I was thinking? Might be worth sharing with people. On a North London derby day down at the Emirates, fans would circulate around the stadium. Say it was a 4:30 kickoff. People would be there from 12 midday. They'd meet. They'd go into all the little cafes along there. They might have a few beers at some of the watering holes. They'd be buying the program. They'd be going into the Arsenal shops, buying bits and pieces, looking forward to that. I mean, the excitement used to be fantastic. You know? You'd meet your mates. You'd go and see the game, and like today, you know, you're 2-1 up in the North London derby, and then it's nail biting time, and then it's a great relief when Arsenal come away with like a 2-1 win. Then you meet all your mates again, and you go over like we're doing, really going over each ball that was played. But it was, and if there's people out there in different parts of the world, like South America. I know all of you at some point probably plan to get over to London once the pandemic's over, and any match day at Arsenal Stadium, or the Emirates Stadium as it is now, is always very special. You can do the Emirates tour. You can go around the stadium. You can do. I mean, it's the whole. All the streets are alive with fans from all over the world. When I've queued up for the tube after the game, I'll hear people speaking in Swedish behind me or Dutch. You know, and it's we are a multinational club in an international world, and it's a great leveler. You know, we hear bad things on the news about racism and so on, but I don't hear anybody complaining about Ian Wright and his colour and all the players we've had from different parts of the world. And that's hope for the future, that we can have that kind of viewpoint on life.
Here, Joe. Here. David Keith says, I forgot my sunglasses.
Next time.
Yeah. I thought that having Emerson Odegaard in the same team was wrong. I was proved wrong. And the understanding with Tierney was brilliant. Goes on to say, Alex, surely we have to understand that Cedric is so much better than Bellerin, Ralph.
Yep.
Yes, he is. This is the thing. When the team is on song, when the defensive 4 or 3 has that understanding, it filters to the rest of the team. It's simple. It's as simple as confidence. When you play confidently, you're more able to express yourself. If you're put under, for example, you know who to lay the ball off quickly. That's the only thing I would say, is that we don't seem to penetrate when we're at the opposition end, and we always just seem to be holding the ball just a bit too long. But other than that, Cedric is one of those players that I can quite happily see him every match, because as I mentioned earlier this morning, Bellerin has lost that edge, that speed, and that's the worst. It's a great thing for the opposition, because what happens? You target him, you double up on him, and you force him into an error. So it does have a knock-on effect with your confidence. And what you want to do, you want to play when there's time. But as we said before, in the Premiership, you only given maybe a couple of seconds, and you got to lay off your pass. If you're not quick enough, then you put your team under, and that's Cedric doesn't do that.
Colin says, came on at that point that everything changed. Nothing absolutely he personally did, but a very true fact. Yeah, when the came on, it's like we kind of lost our shape a little bit. I think next season we will see the best of Party. I hope so, because I feel like I've gone to a party and like there's nobody here. Come on, party, man. Anyway, I think Party.
I don't think we got Alex. I don't think we actually got the true Partey there. I think we actually got his brother called Thomas, because he's going about with Thomas on his back. I think it's the wrong guy.
Oh dear. Let me see if I can pick somebody else up before we finish this one. Once Gabriel gets comfortable communicating in English, we can officially pair him with Holding and what's that? And Dub.
Forwarding back line.
Oh right. Oh right. Okay. The header save. The header save that Gabriel made after Kane. The post was crucial. Yeah, we said that actually, didn't we?
Yeah.
Let's see what else. What else? I think we're finished. I think we're done. We're done. Apart from, just quickly get this one here. Levan J says, "Big up Eltel and Raz, as well as come on the Gunners."
Hey.
Indeed. Xhaka also doesn't play enforcer in the game context. He usually does something mind-boggling during a stoppage and cost the team. Yeah, he's not an enforcer. He's not an enforcer.
Yeah. No.
By the way, what is going on with out on the 18s and under 23s? They keep losing games. I don't think Steve Bold is not I don't think a Super Bowl is not a good, is not good for the under 23s. I don't watch too much of the under 23s games, Tel, but I know I saw that we lost against Blackburn 3-0, and it appears that Miguel
Yeah.
Aziz was the standout performer.
I think in his last game he played 5 forwards and no midfield. So I think he's lost the plot. Poor old Stevie Bold. He's got no hair and we don't care.
Levan J says overall good display by the team today. First 75 minutes of the game was almost a faultless performance. Only last 10-15 minutes was a bit shaky. Yeah. And there says, Alex, thank you for the Seco Zola video and a shout out. Thinks that it meant a lot. Yeah, I did the. I'm getting back to doing the player profile where I actually research and do a video on players who play for Arsenal over the last 50 and 60 years at Arsenal. I think we're finished. We have finished. There we go. Special request from Monty. Alex, if you can do a player profile on Cano, yeah, I would love to do that one. I'll do that one for you. Yeah, we're done. We're finished. Help a Guna and subscribe if you are new here, and please help a Guna out. And here's the link for his channel. My moderator has his own YouTube channel, so guys, make sure you go over there and subscribe. We are finished on this post-game reaction. Yes, North London derby. Arsenal continues, yeah, in a rich vein of getting wins. So we can take this now into the second leg on Thursday against Olympiacos, hopefully. But it's not over until it's over. Until the fat lady sings. Guys, thank you for coming on again on this wonderful channel, which is Cannon Fodder TV. Ralph, any closing thoughts?
Oh, that's a great win. I can watch the highlights, knowing full well. I can go into work now, strut my stuff because there's one or two fans of them down the way. So that's, you know, thank you Arsenal for making the start of my week, as it were. So but yeah, it's great. That's what it means for us Arsenal fans. Get Brilliant. One over the end.
Brilliant. Tell your closing lines, your thoughts.
Well, listen, you know, we are in a rich vein of form. Long may it continue. And if anybody is going to work tomorrow and you know some Spurs supporters, it's going to be a magic moment. I worked at a school where nearly all the teachers were Tottenham, and only myself and the school keeper, the site manager, were Arsenal fans, and yourself, Alex. And I remember us beating them 5-2 once. And every time we saw a Tottenham fan walk past, I'd say to the school keeper, whose name was Simon, "Simon, what's the time?" And he'd say, 5-2.
5-2. Nice one, Tel. Nice one. But listen, we're done and dusted on this post-game reaction. I will be back tomorrow evening. Yeah, back at work. Anyway, it's a different story. Yeah, doing the evening show again. LTEL. LTEL's going to be back again with me, 5:30 p.m. UK time. We're going to be having James Rowe. Yeah, Monday night chats about Arsenal, and of course, just kind of reviewing the week's action. So again, guys, if you are new here and you've been wondering who or what this is, a whole lot of laughter and a win as well at the expense of Spursy. Yes, the North London derby. But anyway, guys, if you've been wondering why we're wearing hats and sunglasses, it's because of the original Godfather. It was his idea. Not my idea. Anyway, if you've been wondering who or what you've been listening to, you've been listening to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world.